Thanks for agreeing
Morning.
to that. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Dr. Celina Pierman, and we have some folks in participating live and some who've signed up for the video as well that are new, possibly to me, or maybe you know me better than I know you. But it's a pleasure to spend a little bit of time today on this topic, really wrapped around doubt and confidence. For those of you I've not had the chance to spend time with, I am based out of Waverly, Iowa, which is in the north central US, and uh, just honored every single day to have conversations with all different types of organizations, all different types of leaders in different roles and employees and professionals along their own pathway to figure out how do we do this work better together. We are finishing our 16th year full time in this work that I've endeavored to do. We brought on a team with us with their areas of specialty, and our focus continues to remain helping people learn so organizations can improve, whether that is live on site having conversations, whether that's virtual interactions like today, or whether that's through our newer on-demand learning system that has our content available 24/7, 365, and on an app. That just is a whole new endeavor for us. So, whatever you're doing for just a few moments, I'm going to ask you to set it aside. And for today, I want to take you through some new material that we've been working on in a few recent sessions. And what I love about somehow when new material finds us, it turns out we've been kind of doing it all the way along. We just maybe talked about it or called it a different thing. And so, as I prepared for today as a way to share some of this on a wider scale, we chose the title Doubt as a Catalyst. And when I think about doubt, if we were to do a little bit of internet research today or to look at some of the research on it, if you think about doubt, it's that feeling of uncertainty, right? Or a lack of conviction. There's just a little bit of hesitation or questioning, maybe a little skepticism, or even some anxiety. And I've been really looking at what does that mean in our organizations. Now, throughout the session this morning, we all have doubts. We all have some uncertainties. We all have our moments of lack of confidence. And the world and our lives all have different examples that you've carried with you. While there are really important conversations there to have, today we're going to focus on it specifically within the workplace because we've set aside just this amount of time to take you away from everything else you would have been doing this morning. I like being able to at least set the scope that we want to focus on doubt as a catalyst on the job. What does this look like as a leader when you have doubts, when you're not sure what to do next, and how why might we be able to support you in that? This conversation actually started at the end of 2023, where I did a year end review, much like your Spotify playlist that tells you who did you listen to the most this year. You know, we love our year end reviews, top movies, whatever that is. And at the end of last year, I did one of those pauses. I was like, what do we need to work on for next year? Are there patterns we're seeing? Are there themes that are coming up in conversations that I have in organizations every day? And the theme that came up last year very clearly was around, I kept hearing the phrase dumpster fire, right? Dumpster fire really representing people in this hot overload, what the heck is going on mess. And so I loved peeling some of that back and saying, what is that overload about? What are we trying to express when we say, ah, this is just a hot blazing mess? And so in follow-up to that, in looking at that, what we recognized is the work we do in organizations as complex systems. And when we work in an organization as part of a system, right? You have your internal system, you have your external systems that feed that. The difference between complexity and chaos or dumpster fire are systems, our processes, our relationships. Those are our calm. We know who to call, we know what to do, we know our next step to take. And there are just moments where we feel overwhelmed because something feels out of control. Something feels like it's unexpected. And it's more likely to feel like that classic dumpster fire that we've been referring to now for a number of years. I remind us as organizational leaders, no matter if you're a people leader, a project leader, a technical leader, no matter if you've been at this a little bit of time or a lot of bit of time, is that when this is complex, it's not going back to simple. So then we need more tools. We need more capacity in our being, right? In our role, in our professional toolbox to take care of the things we need. So as this year has progressed and we continue to do work with leadership and complex systems, and how do we manage the dumpster fire, knowing that this isn't going back to simple, something else has emerged. A lot of the work we have done this year has focused on self-confidence. And if you were to ask me right now, so far this year, is there a theme that's already popping up on my potential year-end review? And that is lack of confidence. That I'm having more and more conversations with leaders who go, I just don't know what to do, or what's next, or I have a lot of doubt. I'm not sure. There's this level of uncertainty. Now, I think socioculturally in this world, we got a lot of messages coming at us in this 24/7, 365 world of social media and messaging. Yet, I also want us to think about this today in the context of our environment. Because really, confidence is the foundation of leadership. When we are more confident as a leader, we inspire trust, respect, loyalty. We can guide with clarity and conviction. And when we are more certain, it helps us do deeper thinking and do some critical analysis. And when we're less certain, I know what happens in my world. I procrastinate a whole lot more. This fear of taking action, or maybe just ignoring something long enough, hoping it will go away. Now, we've explored this in a variety of ways, whether it's been training, whether it's been main stage. If you haven't seen our podcast or heard our podcast yet, I say seen because the new version coming out is actually going to have video. But we have a podcast out there with the title of Wishy-Washy Leader. And so what does that look like when we have doubt, when we're not sure what to do? And so consider today doubt as a catalyst. Because one of the things I think we can do best is understand that doubt is normal. I want us to normalize doubt during change. As a leader, we're not supposed to have all the answers. What's critical, though, is we know what we know and what we don't know. And when we don't know it, we know what resources to tap into. Now, looking at who's logged in today and the names, I see many of you I've worked with over the years and see great confidence that you know what you know. And I love good confidence when we're both confident yet humble. And I see a lot of humble leaders' names on joining us today. Yet, how can we reassure others that having doubt is okay? That being uncertain about something is actually healthy because it's going to drive us to do some deeper thinking. It might push us to do some additional research so that we can make a better decision. So as I mentioned a few moments ago, maybe as you were logging in, we're going to do an online poll today. It's just another way to shape some of this conversation. So I'm hoping you're willing and game. What I'd like to ask you to do is just in a moment, while I am pulling up the screen with the resource and the website. Get your computer ready, get your phone ready. And we're using a resource called Slido. So you can actually go to slido.com and you'll be seeing it here on your screen in just a moment. You can also take a picture, hold your camera over that QR code, which will take you right to the website. If you go to the website on your computer, you'll type in our game code right there, 3361077. For those of you watching the recording later, while you are not going to be able to contribute that, my hope is by giving you this visual for a few minutes this morning, you're going to be able to pick up on some content here, and you can always reach back out to me for questions, comments, or resources that go with today's training. So I'll give you a moment to log on. And just take a pause. We've got a little bit of time to do this morning. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the first question. And these are word clouds today. And what word clouds do for us is it allows you to type in the answer to the question. And then you're going to see those populate on the screen in real time. And you have the option, there is a limited amount of characters on one line, but you can provide multiple answers. So let's do the first one. If you're still getting logged on, that material is on your left side. But when is a lack of confidence harder to overcome as a leader? So just think about your own experience. When is this harder, right? When maybe I am younger than the rest of my team and I don't feel like I have a lot of experience. Maybe it's just, I know, when I am tired. Anyone here notice that you are less confident when you're exhausted? So you can come up with your own answer. You can borrow one of mine. We've got a number of people typing now. New at a company. When we just don't know, right? Times of change. When we're stressed out, we feel like, really, anything more? I can't take anything more. Like my stuff is full. No support from a colleague. When we're looking, right, for somebody else to be helpful to us, we're supportive. And what you'll notice here is the words get emphasized the more that particular answer is commented on, when there are unknowns, questioned by others, right? Bullying upper leadership. So when other leaders are not being effective, no support, older or younger staff, question, yes, thank you. Impact on direct reports. A few more answers coming in there. Just take a moment, soak that up. It reminds us that we are not in this alone. Often within my training and conversations in companies, I remind people that this leadership thing is lonely. Some of you are right now going, oh, Celina, yes, this leadership thing is hard. It is lonely. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But as we know right now, not enough people really want to do this effectively. So that's the neat thing that we can do for each other, right? When the relationship is difficult, when it hasn't done what we needed, hasn't been what we needed to do, it's so much easier to start doubting ourselves. And when we're tired, when we're in overload, when we're stressed, we don't feel that support, much, much harder. So one of the things I want you to think about, and you're going to see this in some of the follow-up to this session today when we send out the recording, is I want you to be able to frame and name it. Recently, I had my own. And it really caused a lot of uncertainty in me. And one of my top pieces, I continue to say this, if you spend much time with me, name it and frame it. Like I can talk myself into anything, but when I frame it and name the actual thing, then I have to deal with it. And I had to name it accurately. Maybe for today, it's just saying, yes, it's because I'm new at this company. Maybe I don't have anyone to talk with. Now, You remember who's in your network. I'm in your network, other people in your network. And maybe it's like, but I don't want to bother them. It's amazing to me what we can do for each other in even just a couple of moments. Maybe you've been recently promoted and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I feel like I'm making this up as I go. Maybe there wasn't somebody in your role before. Maybe there was, and you want to do it differently. Maybe you're in a look, listen, and learn mode. But when we step into a new role, right, that causes uncertainty. Who others expect you to be. Another thing of being comfortable in our own skin to say, no, I have something to offer and I have something to learn. That, of course, as leaders, we're going to have doubt, but if we can frame it and name it, figure out what to do next, then we can move forward more confidently. Let's try another one here. I want you to think about what impact have you seen when a leader is struggling with confidence? So we talked about some of those external things, but what's the impact internally? It could be overall or in a particular area. I would love to see some of your input on this. So give it a moment's worth of thought. What happens internally to us when we're struggling with confidence? Oh, what a great one to start us out with. Disorganization. Yes, we lose that trust of the team. We might freeze up. She's not sure. I know when I go stalled, right? When I'm just locked in. First, I go to disorganization, then I get to freeze. True story, right? First, I'm all over the place. Like I can't collect my thought. I did that recently. Yeah. And it came absolutely out of a place of uncertainty. And then I freeze up, right? Maybe the morale around us gets down, so it brings us down. So now I'm reading the mood of other people and it's bringing me down. And burnout, let's talk just for a moment, the difference between stressed and burned out. Stressed out, those stressors that are coming at us, it is this overwhelming, if I could just get this under control, it'd be just fine. Burnout is very different. Burned out is I got nothing left in my tank. Frustration, lack of engagement. I start pulling back, right? I'm inconsistent. One of the things I look at is when have I hit my tipping point? Now, my tipping point is where I've got to draw back because now I'm making mistakes. Uncertainty. You want to hear my really silly example on a very serious topic? I have a code word. It's not so much a code word because I'm telling this story more lately, but for me, it's a code word. Is that if I really don't want to do something, when I listen to my gut, usually pretty good, but there is another stage of that where I'm now procrastinating and I wish for a meteor. Meteor is my keyword where if I catch myself on a project, on something I'm supposed to be doing, and that hesitation seeps in, that uncertainty, and now I'm trying to avoid it, I catch myself saying, okay, meteor right now, Earth, that would be helpful. And that's a really silly example on a really serious need. And that's my clue that I have just hit the wall on something. I'm frustrated, I'm inconsistent, I'm getting defensive, I may be confused, and that's on me. That's on me. So we all have these moments today, right? It's the group of us typing in these answers and hopefully other people who are watching this video later saying, oh, it's not just me. What could we do with that? So let's take that to one more question. I would love to hear from you today. What boosts your confidence? What is it for you that helps you move through it? Now, this could be as simple as one of mine is music. I pick what I listen to next to boost my confidence. It might be big things, right? By making an impact, feeling healthy and strong, reminding ourselves what we have accomplished, talking to other people, right? Noting when the team succeeds, we feel better, right? Sometimes we need that quiet time. I'm really one that's advocating these days that leaders, you need some think time. So whether it's exercise, me time, right? Just a little bit of reflection, thinking of those past successes, reconnecting with purpose, finishing a task, right? I know I have some list makers watching this. This is when we write something on our list just to cross it off because it feels good. Positive feedback, helping somebody else, right? So when we're getting it, we just know how powerful that is. Meditation, some quiet time. Thank you for sharing those with me, with this group, because maybe this morning you logged on for this time with me to get a little bit of that boost. And I am absolutely honored you would spend some time with me to do that. Maybe it's just to watch some of these and go, oh, I can do that. Because when we can frame it and name it, right, then we know, okay, I could do that. I really believe fundamentally to the self-confidence issue I'm hearing this year. I'm not fond of the phrase that probably got heightened in 2020 around there's no playbook for this. There wasn't a playbook for this, right? We know some stuff, but in our organizations, there's brand new things coming up all the time. As leaders, what I want you to be able to do is understand that we need to be clear on where we're going and flexible in how we get there. Leaders today are going to have to make and remake organizations. Make and remake organizations, which means we have to be okay with a certain amount of uncertainty. And when that uncertainty hits, I want you to know what you need to draw in. When do you need some quiet time and when do you need some people time? When do you need some walk or meditation or something for you to have physically? And when do you need to learn something new? As contrary as it might sound, there's research supporting that when our confidence is lower, when we learn something new, it's a boost. And it sounds counterintuitive, like when I'm down, the last thing I need to do is be a learner and be clunky at something new, but it's that sense of accomplishment. I learned that. Look at the progress we've made, capturing on some of those past successes. Maybe today that's what you needed. When we think about self-confidence itself, right? We think about all these parts to this that maybe we need to reconsider. So self-confidence itself is a belief in your own abilities, your qualities, and your ability to make good judgment. It's the trust that you have in your capacity to take on challenges, make decisions, and achieve your goals. Self-confidence is that positive sense of self-assurance. I can do this. What I also know is many times that we are good at doing this for other people. If you're taking the time to work on you today and joining me for this time, I'm betting you're really good at helping other people. And sometimes we have a hard time bringing this into our own. Now, what we also know is self-confidence itself is formed in many ways. And we can look at this throughout the lifespan about past experiences, upbringing and early life, how self-perception is formed, our social environment, our learning and skill development, our resilience and coping strategies, our physical and our mental health, as well as that ability to set goals and pursue them. As a leader in this workplace, consider what you feel strongest about. Is it your ability to build a team? Or maybe it's in decision making. Maybe you're a pretty clear decision maker, but it's the relationships that we feel less confident. Maybe we feel really good about team building, but it's harder to resolve conflict. Maybe one of your areas is just managing time and responsibilities, and you feel kind of muddled on that. It's not as clear as you would like it. Or maybe lately, it just seems like the team has had a couple of misses, or the communication has gotten really scrambled. What could you do next? So, some of the things we identify if we want to boost our confidence as a leader is to identify a couple of things you feel best in. Of course, we're still human in this, and leaders, right, fundamentally are always human first, leader second. We're going to make mistakes. The question is, how can you leverage that? Title of this again was leveraging doubt, doubt as a catalyst. How will it help you get from here to there? So identifying those strengths, what are you most confident in, can also then lead us to some reflection on what areas for growth. What, given your current responsibilities, what would you like to grow and be more confident in? I know it's hard to take that time out. You already signed up and it stayed with me for a little while today, but what else could you learn? What else could you learn that's just going to give you that next couple of degrees of confidence? Many other experts in the area will tell you if you can reflect on times that you have felt more confident in your past, you can draw on that experience to feel more confident going forward. Even finding or thinking of challenges that you lacked confidence in reflection and review of that can help you find factors that either prevented you from being as strong as you could have been to how you might handle that in the future. I think bottom line for many of us in this is just accepting the fact that it's okay to have doubts. It's how we leverage those to become as confident as we can, to show others, to be able to influence, to make good decisions, to bring teams together to accomplish not only what we want, but on behalf of our organization, what we've committed to, because others are counting on us. Now, certainly within areas of psychology, there's lots of really good material around affirmations and what we tell ourselves. We have many conversations going on in our own heads all the time. Some of us probably have more than others, right? And I have a lot of them going on, and I'm really open to the fact that I have about 300 squirrels running through my head at any given point in time. But when I quiet the voices, right, through that physical release or that meditation or that confidence boosting of what do I need to do next? Affirmations can help us reflect on that. So, simply for a moment today, I'm going to share some of those with you. I'm going to share some of the ones that maybe can give you the next boost. So, while I'll share these verbally on this, when we send out this recording, I'm going to list them. And for some people, affirmations feel like cheesy or clunky, or I don't, but it's amazing to me when you pick one and just say, I can do this, right? It starts shifting our mindset maybe just a little bit to get you to your next step. I trust my ability to lead my team to success. I believe in myself and my ability to achieve the goals I want. Challenges are an opportunity for growth, and I face them with confidence. I have the strength and resilience to overcome obstacles in my path. I aim to communicate clearly and effectively in order to support my team. I'm a good listener, and I value the perspectives of others. I trust my judgment and make decisions with confidence and clarity. I have the knowledge and experience to make the best decisions for my team or learn something as a result. I can be a positive influence for my team and my leadership to help drive success. I want to empower my team to reach their full potential, and I trust their abilities. I am resilient and I bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. I face uncertainty with calm and a confident mindset. I'm committed to continuous learning and growing as a leader. Every day, I become more confident in my abilities and leadership. I can be in control of my emotions and I can handle difficult situations with grace. I understand the value and the emotion in the value of emotions in others, and I can lead with empathy. I have the courage to take risks and wisdom to learn from the future. And I can embrace unknown with confidence and have a sense of adventure. Now, you didn't necessarily need to log on this morning to have me share affirmations with you. But I think it's so important for all of us to remember we all have doubts. Like I could list all of mine out this morning. It's the choice we make next. These are not affirmations out of a place of weakness. They're opportunities for us to remember that we are human first, leader second, that we continue to make choices that push us out of our comfort zone and absolutely normalize. Say it over and over again, that doubt is okay, especially during change, and we can leverage that doubt for what comes next. So many opportunities within this to remember, right, that as leaders, we can make an even better impact when we just understand that sometimes we need to say to our team, this is new for me too, and I want to help. We're going to figure this out together. And there are other times I need to do that pre-work before I show up in front of my team with the confidence that I know they need from me. So if I were bringing this together just in some final key points for us today, I would share with you to embrace growth over perfection. Confidence is a journey, not a destination. Embracing growth and learning over perfection helps us take that experience, whether it was a success or a challenge, as an opportunity to say, yes, I've learned some things along the way. One of the things we know that confidence boosts up when we leverage our strengths. Most of those times when I start freezing and doubting and hoping for that meteor to hit right now, because I really don't want to do this, I have gotten out of my lane to something that is not my strength and probably overcommitted myself to something, right? So leverage your strengths, recognize strengths that you offer your team, you offer your organization, and be okay with that. While I love humble leaders, I love confident, humble leaders even more. Focus on what you do well and use those to help drive your team. Take decisive action. So if we can embrace growth over perfection and we can leverage those strengths, number 3 on our list is take decisive action, because confidence grows when you make decisions. Trust your judgment, make decisions with conviction, and then learn from it. Even those small steps can lead to significant progress. Number 4 on our list is to practice self-compassion. Being kind to ourselves isn't a wishy-washy push over, you know what, I can't. No, it is that fact that it owns leadership, and this life is challenging and mistakes are part of the process. Treat yourself with the same compassion I know each of you offer others. And last today, seek support and feedback. You don't have to lead alone. Supporting others also means you can ask for it from mentors, peers, your team. Embracing that feedback as a tool for growth, but also as a means to boost your own confidence. Well, I know this is a topic we could talk about for hours. My hope in just this interaction today was it gave you enough oomph, a little bit of spark, your next battery power of energy that you need to do what you need to do next. On behalf of the Pyramid Group, it is always a pleasure to be trusted with your time, to share some ideas with you, and then to do what we need to do to follow up from there. In just a moment, I'm going to stop the recording. I'm happy to take questions or just hang out with you for a little while if that is helpful for you today. If there's anything that we can do on behalf of our team, please feel free to visit our website, www.pyramidgroup.com or drcelinapyramid.com. If we aren't connected on LinkedIn yet, please feel free to check in with me there. And if there's something we can do along the way, please reach out and let us know.